Hi everyone, again welcome back to my channel Unfinished Curious Smile. Today's video is all about mutation theory, which is a very integral part of the genetics when we talk about anthropology, especially in the subfield of biological anthropology. Though this mutation, which act as a evolutionary force, is a very uh, what to say basic component of evolutionary force which act in various aspects. There are several types of mutation, and there are some major diseases which actually is the core reason behind those disease are basically the mutation. And this mutation theory, in this video we will discuss and get to know a little bit. I have tried my best to accumulate some slides on mutation theory, and further I will try to explain it more. I will try my best to provide uh, the basic information regarding mutation theory. So let's get started. Okay, so as I was talking about the mutation theory, so before diving into the proper theory portion, it is very important for us to understand the history of mutation. So basically mutation theory was introduced by a Dutch botanist named Hugo de Vries in 1901. So he basically observed sudden inheritable changes in the organism that seemed to appear out of nowhere. He called these changes as mutations, and he proposed that mutations were responsible for creating new traits that could be passed down to future generations. According to Vries, mutations are a very key driver of evolution because they introduce diversity within a population. Now, if we break down the concept of mutation theory to understand how mutation work, first, a mutation is a permanent alteration in a DNA sequence of an organism. In a very simplified word, we can say mutation is the sudden change of the gene or the genetic materials. So, when talking about the gene, basically occurs in the DNA sequence. Now, DNA mutation can occur at different scales, from a single base pair to large section of chromosome. Though these changes can be passed on if they occur in germ cells, which means they can become part of the gene pool. Now, there are several types of mutation. Firstly, you can see I have mentioned in point mutation. Now, if we break down or if I start explaining about point mutation very shortly, you can see I have written that changes in a single nucleotide. Now let me break down a bit. So point mutation involves a change in a single nucleotide base in the DNA sequence. Let me give an example. If an A nucleotide is accidentally replaced by G nucleotide, and in this picture you can see the codons. So consider this as if this particular A is replaced by G. Just for an example, take if this A is replaced by G. So what happens basically, these small change can have significant effects on an organism. Now in this photograph that I have used here, you can see there are several changes in the particular nucleotide or in codons. So now, if we take the example, which is a very famous example while talking about the point mutation, is sickle cell anemia, where a single mutation in the hemoglobin gene causes red blood cell to form a abnormal sickle shape. It is occurs because of the in the beta chain of that. What happens is in the prime 5 position, the uh, valine changes into glutamic acid. Now, in the chromosomal mutation, what basically happens is, it is a very large scale change to the structure of number of chromosomes. So these can include deletion, duplication, inversion and translocation. I'll try to make a more specific video on chromosomal mutation because it itself a very vast topic. So just quickly giving you the insight of it. Uh, Again, by giving an example, Down syndrome is caused because by a chromosomal mutational disorder, where there is an extra copy of chromosome 21. Now there are other some of the other types of mutation. One of them was spontaneous mutation. That means these are basically natural errors that happens during DNA replication. For example, even though our DNA replicated machinery is incredibly accurate, mistakes can still happen. A spontaneous mutation might occur if a DNA polymerase enzyme make an error while copying DNA. Now, talking about the induced mutation, these are mutation caused by external forces. It could be those external forces like exposure to radiation, chemicals, or even certain viruses. For example, exposure of UV radiation can cause mutation in skin cells, potentially leading to skin cancer. Now, there are several other importance of mutation in the evolution. Now, mutation definitely play a crucial role in evolution because they not only introduce new traits that can affect an organism's survival and reproduction, but also uh, again, let's take an example of a bacteria. When a bacteria are exposed to antibiotics, some of them might have random mutation that make them resistant, and these resistant bacteria survive and reproduce, again passing on the resistance gene to uh, further generation or future generation. So over time, this can lead to evolution of antibiotic resistant bacteria, which is a major concern in medicine. Another example of mutation role in evolution can be seen in humans with the sickle cell trait. While having two copies of mutated genes causes sickle cell anemia, having just one copy provides resistance to malaria. So in regions where malaria is common, this mutation offers as a survival advantage, which is why the sickle cell trait is more common there. Now, just to give you a little bit insight regarding this example, this example is a very classic example of also balanced polymorphism. So, again coming back to the concept of mutation theory, uh, so if we take, or if you try to look at a couple of real world example to understand how mutation theory applies in different contexts. So talking about antibiotic resistance in bacteria, when bacteria are exposed to antibiotics, random mutation may lead to resistance in some bacterial cells. So these resistant bacteria then survive, reproduce and create population that antibiotics can't kill. This is one of the reason why overuse of antibiotic in medicine and agriculture is growing concern. Now, genetic variation in humans, uh, when I mean by genetic variation in humans, uh, some mutation in human have both positive and negative effects. For example, the mutation that cause sickle cell disease can also provide resistance to malaria. So this mutation is more common in regions where malaria is widespread. It illustrates how natural selection work their side or alongside mutation to influence the frequency of certain traits in a population. Now, there are obviously some of the limitation of mutation theory. While mutation theory is fundamental to our understanding of genetics and evolution, it is important to recognize its limitation. So mutation alone cannot account for evolutionary change. So mutation provide the raw material for evolution, but natural selection, genetic drift and gene flow also play a very critical or vital role. For example, if a mutation is neutral, meaning it does not affect an organism's survival or reproduction, it might only become common in population due to random genetic drift rather than through natural selection. Similarly, some adaptations result from cumulative small changes rather than sudden mutation. For instance, the complex adaptation we see in animals often rise from accumulation of many small genetic changes over the time rather than from a single mutation. So in this video, I have tried my best to understand or explain. I have tried my best to explain mutations and how it lead to genetic variation, which often acted upon by natural selection. Also, mutations introduce new traits, some of which may be advantageous or disadvantageous. Through the process of natural selection, advantageous mutation may become more common, leading to adaptation and sometimes even speciation. I hope this video is insightful to you all. If you find this video helpful, then please do give it a share and subscribe my channel. And also, if you have some queries regarding this mutation theory or any of the queries that you have, then please feel free to do comments me below, and please do share your feedbacks. Thank you.